She hides her poverty from her friends, but the truth comes out. Our next Reddit post is from a user. So my parents are poor. I grew up poor with hand-me-down clothes and no new toys or electronics, but I had all the love and care that a kid could ask for. My mom even used to stay up late into the night making sure I finished my homework before going to bed. She also made sure that we always had food on the table, even though most of it was from food banks or given to us by neighbors. I'm grateful to my parents for what they did for me. They gave me a good head start in life, which I will never forget. That said, there were times when I wished I had more material things. For example, there were some popular toys that all the kids at school had except me. One day I couldn't take it anymore and I told my mom that I wanted to end my life. I know it sounds dramatic, but that's how bad I wanted those toys. Luckily, my mom didn't buy them for me, but she took me to the local church and asked them to help. They gave me everything I needed so that I would have something nice to wear to school and participate in sports. That was one of the only times I ever saw my mom cry. I'm almost 20 now, and I want to make her happy again, and I think I know how to do it. She's been eyeing this dress that costs about $1,500. Since I got my first real job after high school, I can easily afford it without asking for financial help. I also found out that my old friend from elementary school, let's call him Mark, has money. His dad owns several businesses. Anyways, I went up to Mark and asked him if he wanted to go clubbing with me, which he agreed to. We were hanging out at the club, and I kept buying him drinks until he started telling me all his deepest secrets. Turns out his parents divorced when he was young, and he never really had a childhood. Told me that he just wanted someone to talk to. And then I dropped the hint about buying him the expensive watch that he's always wanted. He agreed. So I paid for both of our watches, and then I texted my mom. I bought your dress. She was very excited and sent me a thank you text. The next day, I posted on Facebook that I am throwing a party on Saturday night and invited all my classmates. I didn't mention anything about it being a prom night party, but I knew they would get the hint. I also invited Mark and told him to bring the birthday boy. So Saturday came around and I was super excited. I spent hundreds of dollars on decorations, food, and drinks. At midnight, I turned off the lights and everyone started dancing. When the clock struck 12:30 a.m., I announced to everyone that we should take a moment to appreciate the true meaning of prom night. Everyone cheered and even Mark was tearing up. I thought this was going to be an epic night, but then suddenly the power went out. It was pitch black outside and everyone started panicking. Then some guy shouted, "Let's find another party," and all my guests left. I was so upset. This wasn't part of the plan. It turns out that a raccoon had climbed up an electrical pole and knocked out the power for the whole neighborhood. I spent the rest of the night consoling Mark, because he was also really disappointed. Then I called my mom and told her that I'd like to return the dress because the party was ruined. She was really understanding and said that she'd be right over. When she arrived, we ate pizza, watched movies, and talked until sunrise. She was really happy because we had a great time together. I didn't have a lot of money left, but I still managed to buy her a bouquet of flowers the next morning. She loved it and thanked me over and over. I'm glad that I was able to make her happy. Up, I think your mom loves you very much. I think that's the best gift you could give her, spending time with her. Our next Reddit post is from another user. My father died when I was 6 years old and my mother had to raise 3 kids on her own. She did an amazing job, but she worked long hours and didn't have much time for herself. Me and my siblings had hand-me-down clothes and secondhand furniture, but we were happy nonetheless. Our mother loved us very much, and we knew that she would do anything for us. When I was 12, my best friend invited me over to see his new Xbox. Of course, I wanted one too, so I asked my mom for it. Her response was, "We don't have the money for that right now." I begged her every day for a week, but she stuck to her guns. On Saturday, she let me help her clean out the attic. While I was looking around, I found a big box filled with old CDs. I asked my mom what they were, and she said that they were records. I said, "Can I sell them?" She said, "Sure, if you want." I took the box downstairs and wiped off the dust. Then I put the records on a website and sold them for $150. Ran back upstairs and told my mom that I earned $150. She asked where I got the money from, and I told her I sold the records. She looked heartbroken and told me that I shouldn't have done that. I said, "Why not? I made $150. Then she told me that those were her old records from when she was a teenager. She said that she couldn't believe that I would sell them behind her back. I felt awful. I had no idea that they were her old records. I immediately apologized and promised to never sell anything of hers again. Then she calmed down a bit and told me that I can buy myself an Xbox with the money. I was so happy. But then she added, "But we won't be eating meat for a month." I happily accepted the deal. That same day, I ordered myself an Xbox and waited impatiently for it to arrive. A few days later, my mom came home with groceries, and guess what? There was meat in the bags. I was confused, so I asked her why. She said, "You need your vitamins and minerals." I told her that I agreed to not eat meat for a month. She said, "I know, but I couldn't bear to see my babies turn into skeletons." I hugged her and thanked her for being the best mom in the world. Op, your mother sounds like an amazing woman. These stories really remind me of my childhood. My dad passed away when I was 8, and growing up we didn't have a lot of money. But my mom always made sure we had food in our bellies and a roof over our heads. She used to buy clothes for us at thrift stores, and even made most of our furniture. Despite the situation we were in, she never once complained and always made sure we were happy. I remember one time my brother wanted a new bike really badly, but we couldn't afford it, so my mom decided to make one herself. She gathered some wood in our garden, chopped it up, and made a beautiful wooden bike for my brother. He was so happy. Those were good times. And although we don't have a lot of money, we are a very happy family. Anyways, that is all for the stories today. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next Reddit video.